And welcome to WagerTalk TV. I'm Ted Savransky, Teddy Covers, at Teddy Covers on Twitter, joined by Marco D'Angelo, at Marco in Vegas, and Ralph Michaels, at Cal Sports LV. Gentlemen, March Madness. Are you guys pumped or what?
You know, it's...
What's he got in that coffee cup over there? I don't think it's coffee.
No,
He's
it's
excited.
good to have some enthusiasm on that side. Yeah, you know, I think it's the most exciting time of the year, but I just want to start the videos today. We're going to do March Madness and NCAA tournament videos. I want to say overall, I think there's more value in the NIT, CBI, and CIT tournaments than these isolated March Madness games. With that being said, though, we're going to go over a lot of great games that our viewers want to watch. So, Marco, your thoughts on March Madness?
Well, I agree with you. There's two different handicaps, the big dance and those other tournaments. Because those other tournaments, to what you're talking about, and I know you're a guy that digs deep and you like to read all of the newspapers and get a feel for the teams. You want to know who cares about being where they're at, and that's something in those smaller tournaments. But this one, we know everybody cares where they're at, so it's straight handicapping. The only difference that we'll have, and it's something that we'll talk about in a different video, is some of these teams that got extended, that went the distance and won their conference championship. Did it take too much out of them heading into this one? You know, and we'll see that and we'll talk about it. But we don't have to worry about that with this matchup we have here, talking with Nevada in this game and looking at the teams that they're playing. Set us up, Teddy.
Sure. Well, the answer I would have also accepted is, yes, I'm excited. It's March Madness. But with NIT and all that stuff on center stage.
Yes, I'm excited. It's March Madness.
Come on.
Better late than never, right?
Exactly. So we've got a pair of tournament-tested teams, Florida and Nevada. They play 3:50 Pacific time, and yeah, we're going to talk Pacific time, which is, of course, 6:50 Eastern time, on Thursday, opening night of the tournament. The Wolfpack, who've been nationally ranked all year, just short chalk here, -2, total in the 134 range. Here's some under money on this game. Let's start with you, Marco. Nevada and Florida. Who do we like and why?
Well, I like Nevada, and I'll tell you, one of the reasons you're seeing is you're saying that short chalk, and please don't ever do that facing me like that, okay? All right, I don't want to see it.
I'm going to be used to this by now. Yeah.
Okay, but the situation being, Nevada has been a money burner down the stretch, and the public knows that. They're 1-7 against the spread, but let's remember, a lot of those games, they're 1-7, but they were 6-2 straight up. They were laying big numbers in those games, and I think it was a case of Nevada. They want to get to the dance. They want to go back. They got a taste of it last year. They went to the Sweet 16 before they had that gut-wrenching loss against Cinderella.
Sure.
Loyola and Sister Jean last year. But, you know, they're struggling down the stretch. They're not the big-name program, and they're playing a Florida team out of the mighty SEC. So that's why we're seeing a short number. I think it's too short, to be honest with you, Teddy. I think there's a ton of value with Nevada, and with a short number like this, we don't have to worry about them basically winning and not covering, because the winner's most likely going to cover with the short number.
Well, follow-up question. In a game like this, are you looking to lay the money line with the favorite if you're going to back the favorite so you don't get screwed if they win by a point or don't get the push if they win by 2?
By nature, I'm very tight, and I don't like to give the bookmakers extra juice. And with the game, as many times as it's going to fall at 1 where it would screw me in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and take that chance and lay the number. Now, if it gets to 2.5 or 3, that might be a different story.
So you might be willing to lay more juice if it's higher.
If it's a little bit higher, if you're in that zone where the 2.5, 3, 3.5, we know the situations and where they're going to foul at and where they're not going to foul at. Yes, I would consider it then, but at 2, no.
Being up by 4 and giving up that last bucket, you're not concerned about that with laying the 2.
Yeah. Sure. Well,
1. Yes.
Sure. Well, you're certainly concerned about the meaningless 3 at the buzzer.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're
You've
laying
had a few of those, Ralph.
So, I mean, we just talked about Nevada and their gut-wrenching loss last year. Florida had kind of a gut-wrenching loss, too. They beat St. Bonnie's in the first round and then came back and lost to Texas Tech by 3 and failed to get to the Sweet 16. What about this year for the Gators, coming off a pretty good SEC tournament?
Well, you know, when I'm here with Marco in the panel, I don't make my determination until after I hear Marco, and then I go against him. So in that case, I'm going to go on Florida, and for a few reasons. Nevada last year was not the team with the bullseye on their back. They were the underdog, the cutesy underdog that played well, and they weren't cutesy by any means. They were a solid team. Now they're actually the favorite. You have an SEC team that's a dog to a Mountain West team. I think that's motivation. I think the SEC being so much better this year helps Florida. We've seen Florida and South Carolina, a couple defensive teams the last few years, advance in the tournament, do very well. But this year, those teams had to play against very good offenses of Tennessee, of LSU. I think that helps them in this next step, having to face some elite offenses when you get to this March Madness stage. I think the better defensive team, been there and done that, well coached, and I will take the dog in that role against a team that, yes, they've been the hunter, but in this NCAA tournament type situation, I think the favorite role in that situation is going to be too big for them.
Off a loss, Nevada last 3 seasons, 11-3 against the spread.
There you have it. Marco and Ralph disagreeing on the first video of the day, what's coming next. And please, if you enjoy the video, if you like them arguing, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscription. Tell us which one of these two fine gentlemen is right. And if you've never tried WagerTalk.com or SportsMemo.com, until the first game tips on Thursday, this offer expires when the first game tips, all new users can take $20 off their first purchase using coupon code MM20 when checking out. That's coupon code MM20.